the equation E is equal mc square, in which energy is put equal to mass multiplied with the square of the velocity of light, showed that very small amount of mass may be converted into a very large amount of energy, and vice versa. The mass and energy were in fact equivalent, according to the formula mentioned above. This was demonstrated by Proclas and Walton in 1932 experimentally.
You've got it right here. S4 with E squared in conjunction with Spaced Out Radio.
Alien contact. S4. UFOs. Bigfoot. 9/11. Grays. The Illuminati. Cover-ups. RH negative blood. What are they hiding from
Sorry, your call cannot be completed as dialed.
Now, the men behind the mics, Forest Moon Paranormal's Eric Cooper and the SOR Spacewire's Eric Markham. You can find more at spacedoutradio.com.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
Now, let's travel into the universe. It's S4 with E squared.
All right. How are we doing tonight, folks? Welcome to S4 of E Square. Myself and Eric Markham. We're coming to you from the snowy mountains of Concrete, Washington. We have a foot of snow, folks, outside our window here. I gotta throw this in there real quick. The opinions and views of S4 of E Square do not reflect that of Spaced Out Radio, our umbrella radio station. We have our own views, our own research, and everything we do on our own, and are not that of the opinions of Spaced Out Radio. How you doing tonight, Markham?
Doing fine. How about you?
Good. Yeah, man, it's cold. It's like 22 degrees outside, and I know it's colder in other places, but holy shit, it's cold out there.
It actually got down to 24 Saturday morning.
Damn it, man.
Now it's probably in the 40s now and raining steady.
Gotcha.
We're
How
like,
you doing tonight,
12
Robert?
degrees away from being...
I see Robert White is in the room now.
Mhm.
And we might actually have a full house tonight. We'll see how it plays out tonight. Everyone's curious about 2017. And I'm curious to hear what you found out.
Oh, I've got all kind of good crap.
Oh, good. Good. Yeah. And you know what, the one that kills me every year, it never fails. Every year, actually more than once a year, it comes out, somebody says, it's the end of the world, Christ is coming back. And even in the Bible, it says, Jesus will come back like a thief in the night. Nobody knows the day or time. But all these so-called street corner preachers say, I've got lines in with God, and he said he's coming back next month on the 23rd at 3 p.m. Okay. I'll be waiting. Huh. Yeah.
Yep.
Bye-bye. Whatever. And, Oh God, who was it? And folks, you're gonna hear my kids in the background coughing. They're sick. We went to the hospital and they got some Z-Pack and they should be good. But they're sleeping in the living room tonight, so they're gonna be in the background. It'd be nice in 2017. So before we get to the prophecies, we're gonna talk for 45 minutes an hour about some of the projects that we are working on the paranormal side and the pagan side, because our headquarters is pagan. Forest Moon Grove, we are establishing as a pagan church, federally recognized, so that one, we can get DoD endorsement from the military to support pagan military, pagans in the military. Because as some of you know, there is no pagan chaplains in the military. Therefore, they have what's called a DRGL, a Distinguished Religious Group Leader. Oh yeah, once they get the Z-Pack in them, they'll be fine, Robert. But that and I ran pagan groups in Iraq, 2 different tours. I dealt with a whole lot of discrimination, a whole lot of harassment, a whole lot of persecution, literally, from chaplains, from my own military. We got treated better by Muslims than we did our own military. But that's neither here nor there. Point is, there's only 3 or 4 different organizations that are recognized by the military to endorse soldiers as pagan religious leaders, because they won't give us a pagan chaplain. Now, and people say, well, how's that going to help any? And it probably won't. To be honest with you, 1 chaplain in the whole military, that's not going to make a whole lot of difference. Attitude is what makes a difference. So with that, Forest Moon Grove is going to be a pagan church. With that, we're going to have a homeless closet for to help homeless people with clothes, with kitchen items, that kind of thing. Then we're going to have an education center for pagans that want to learn other beliefs and whatnot, or within the pagan belief. And with that, of course, we got Paracon coming September 23rd, and I'm starting up a special branch within Forest Moon Paranormal, a quick reactionary. Being a veteran, and you would understand, a lot of our team members and members in general within Forest Moon are veterans. Now, veterans take the paranormal from a different viewpoint, because many of us, having been in combat, not much scares you after being in combat. And so we see a ghost and kind of laugh, or we see an alien and we kind of laugh. It doesn't really, paranormal doesn't really faze us like it does someone who hasn't seen much. So we're starting a quick reactionary team. And I want to reiterate, because Forest Moon Paranormal is a crisis group. We don't go to hot spots. We don't go out there to prove EVPs and take pictures. And personally, I don't give a rat's ass about some of the pictures and EVPs that other groups get, because I already know the paranormal exists. And, when it comes down to it, I'm here for the client or the experiencer, and I'm here for the spirit. Because some of these spirits, they're either one, just misunderstood or confused, because some of them don't know they're dead. Others don't understand, you're actually intruding in their space, not the other way around. So, the QRT is not meant to attack. We're going to take the calls where basically if someone is being attacked by a negative entity, they have an active UFO sighting right now, and we're in our trucks and rolling. And some of the training I'm going to do, I'm doing weapons training, because you just can't be too safe. I am doing survival training, because again, we're in the mountains, and this is a live physical team. It's not like the astral team. We'll have the backup of the astral team, obviously, but we're the ones jumping in trucks and rolling. And that's because you hear cases occasionally where so-and-so got abducted by aliens, and they're actually still missing. These are the cases we're taking. We have an entity, and it's attacking, and I've got scratch marks, and it's actually attacking right now. These are the cases we're going to be going after. Not just, I've been having activity in my house, and it happens every day. No, that's a regular routine case. The QRT is only going to be taking on cases where there's actually something going on right here, right now, and we need to react. I'm also going to be hand-picking and being very selective about who is on this team. Tyler Allen Standing Bear is one, and he's actually disabled Special Forces. Corey Ruiz, I'm not sure if he's listening tonight or not, but he's here in Concrete, and he's going to be the Fog Paranormal's representative within Forest Moon. So these are some of the things that we're looking at for 2017. I've already set up a booster account, so if you want a Forest Moon Paranormal t-shirt, the link to that is in Forest Moon Paranormal group. I've also set up a GoFundMe. So whoever wants to help out with, one, getting new equipment, two, getting us supplies, sage, herbs, stones, these kind of things, and training materials. That's what that's set up for, because we don't charge for anything we do. We don't charge for Paracon. So we have to do fundraisers and things like that to get funding for what we do. Anyway, so you're busy tonight, Markham?
Oh, let me look.
Oh, and by the way, Markham is our QRT scientist. So, yeah, he's the Forest Moon Bigfoot specialist, Robert. He's a Native American, and he actually goes up in the mountains and actually mingles with Bigfoot. And, yeah, knows his shit, is very good at what he does. Just had surgery back in September, so he's been out of the loop as far as going up in the mountains.
If he can get me a hair sample, I'd love to have that as a positive control. Something to use to go, measure against anything else that might be submitted.
Right, exactly. I'll see what I can do, because he's both. I think he's just now getting to the point where he's probably going to start going out again, because during the, oh my God, and what he's noticed is they're actually migratory. During the winter months, they seem to filter off into the higher territory, whereas they come down lower in the summer.
Huh. That's almost counterintuitive. You think they'd come low, get to where, I don't know, it just seems like they would be, it's just the backwards. They must have caves or something up there they hide in during the winter.
And that could very well be. we'll have to have him on the show one night.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But yeah, and I like the Native American perspective, because you have too many non-native, quote unquote, Bigfoot specialists or experts, and yeah, okay. So you're basically going out hunting, and that's really all you're doing. Oh my God, he goes off on some of these people. We actually ran one out of Forest Moon Paranormal because the guy was a fraud. He was a blatant fraud. He wasn't even hiding it. And so yeah, coming from the Native American perspective, you can't just look at Bigfoot as science. That's just, especially if Bigfoot is interdimensional. There's no scientific basis for it. And I have a question for you. So what do you think about mediums and channelers that are going from talking to spirits to now all of a sudden they're talking to extraterrestrials? What's your view on that?
Yeah. I got a bit of trouble with channelers, and I don't know. That's one of those things I'm highly skeptical of. And when it comes to now all of a sudden we're talking to, ETs, I'm going to reserve judgment, but I'm just a little bit on it makes my BS needle move.
Well, okay, here's my thing, because and it kind of came up, and it kind of rubs me the wrong way, I guess you could say, because when we did there's Corey. Hey, Corey. Hey, Tiffany. So
Hey, Corey.
at the round table, when we were talking about mediums. Everybody thinks they're a medium. There's too many of them. I believe mediums are, being psychic is a gift. I really do. And yeah, I have a real hard time with channelers. I do, because anything can channel. I don't believe. I believe you can channel. That's not my problem. But it seems funny that you got all these psychics that are going from spirits to extraterrestrials. It's almost like they're, well, spirits got boring, so we got to move with the times, and we have to go to extraterrestrials because that's where everyone's moving to now. We have disclosure on the news last year. Well, yeah, it was last year as of yesterday. But, really, seriously. And that's kind of why we're doing 2017 tonight. Is 2016's over with. We kind of beat out 2016 a roundtable. If you missed that show, go back to spacedoutradio.com and listen to Friday's show, and you'll hear all about 2016. 2017 now, first day into it, and it's time to look at what's coming up. Now, what bothers me, I think, the most is the fact that within the Alien Race book, we've got 2017 mentioned by 3 different races. That intrigues me, because we're talking. This is a book that was that came out in the 1940s, 1950s. Was just translated in, I believe, the 80s or 90s. I can't remember which. So we're not talking like it was just a year or two ago, and now they're talking 2017 because it's just now coming up. We're talking. These are races that we're talking about 2017, about 20 years ago. Hey, good evening or morning, Andy. How you doing? I'm waiting for Steven to get
tomorrow, Andy?
Yeah. Hey, what's tomorrow look like, Andy? But you know what I mean, Markham? I can't remember when that book was written. But we've got alien races that are mentioning 2017, and one of them, I believe, was the benevolent gray race that was mentioning 2017 all the way up to 2022. Like, is that another age of enlightenment? Is that an age of expansion? What's going to happen in that 5 years?
Yeah, some of the things I've been looking into for tonight's show. It's the broad headline will be aliens, come to Earth 2017. Well, then you go and dig into it, and it's like, well, maybe Nostradamus thought this was, prophesied that this would happen somewhere between 2017 and 2020. They're always hedging their bet.
Right. And then you've got, I can't remember his name, but you got that wonderful, I don't want to say he's a preacher. I don't think he's a preacher, but the one that says Jesus is coming down on a UFO. He's going to destroy Putin, and they're going to change the world. There's going to be a one world government, and Jesus is going to make everything peaceful and believe one religion and blah, 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 blah. Really? Okay. Feed me some more bullshit. I think the other one that intrigues me is the news source, and I can't remember what the news source was. I'm sure you looked it up already, where Biden went and met with Putin and was talking about an alien intervention in 2017, and they had to be ready, and we had to join forces with Russia to destroy the aliens, basically. What kills me and what cracks me up, if you're coming to Paracon in 2017, it's September 23rd. Well, all this stuff is supposed to happen like September 22nd, 23rd, something around there, about the time we're all going to be doing Paracon. And I'm like, really? Why?
What's the timing?
Right? And I picked September 23rd long before I even looked up the research on what's going to happen in 2017. It's not like I planned around that, No, but I'm not going to change my date over it, because, like, whatever. you know what? I believe in waiting to see what's going to happen. That's how I sit, and that's how I live. Now, that's the other thing with Forest Moon Paranormals. We will be doing a lot of survival training, how to live off the land, how to be self-sufficient, that kind of thing. You can say hi. Say hi, Markham.
Hey, Markham.
This is Cheyenne. She just
Hey,
she just has to say hi on the radio. Well, you know, we did our solstice show, December 21st, and both my kids, because I was hoping some more kids would call in, but nobody did. So it's just me and my two kids sitting here talking about solstice and Bigfoot and aliens, and Cheyenne sitting here going, "Hello, hello, how come no one's talking back, Daddy?" I'm like, "Well, you're on the radio. They don't talk back; they listen." And she couldn't get it. Like 15 minutes later, she going, "Hello, no one's talking." Like, well, that's because they don't talk. They listen. That's what the radio is, unless you have a speaker. And like, you know, she's listening. She's used to hearing me on the radio, and usually it's us two. So she hears you talking. She figures, oh, the radio's all about just everyone's talking to each other. But okay, go sit back down.
I'm sick.
You're sick. Yeah, you need to go lay back down. So, the other thing with 2017 is Haystack Farm, which is Fourth Moon headquarters. We're going to be expanding with the orchard. We're going to be expanding the garden. We got rid of the goats. We're not doing goats anymore. We did that for a while. And we still have a sheep. We have our chickens. Dave met the sheep. Dave likes our sheep. He likes our duck, too. We need to get more ducks. Duck eggs are awesome. They're awesome to bake with. So yeah, we're working on, well, what I need to work on, if you could help me with this, is solar. I need to get solar power so we can get this place off the grid.
Oh.
You know much about solar?
Right now it's so tightly controlled. It's kind of hard to, you know, it's hard to get it cost effective.
Yeah, that's the thing, because we can get solar, but it's going to cost like $15,000. And that's on the
Well,
low
they're
side.
going to be bringing the prices. The prices are going to be coming down because they've come up with a new way of making the panels. It's not as labor intensive as it was, where they had to start with a solid block and then shave the block. Plus, now there was a guy. He was from Michigan. Let me Google that real quick, see if I can get a name. But he did something with amorphous solids. Oh, there it is. Let me see if that comes in. He was doing some stuff. It was a non-crystalline. It worked. You know, it did. He could make solar panels with it, and it showed great promise. But of course, like anything else that shows great promise, it disappears. Oh, let's see.
Right. And yeah, so if we can get this place off, because I mean, hell, we got everything's electric in this house, so we're paying astronomical rates on power. And should the grid go down, yeah, I want solar. If we get EMP'd, something like that, I want solar. So
yeah, I want to come up with some solar and wind in my place.
Yeah, and we've got wind. We've got wind that crosses the pasture down in the mountain. So, you know, we've got some alternatives, some plans here. Now, according to Skeeter, nothing's going to really happen that we need to worry about till about 2019. So we've got some time. We have a couple of years to get everything in place and get everything ready to go. I'm kind of encouraged. This is actually the first actual winter we've had here. This is the first snow I've seen here, and we've been here for 5 years. I'm from Skagit County, but Don, that's the thing you gotta look at is protecting solar panel from EMP. Is there a way to make a Faraday cage around solar panels, Markham?
Well, it's not the panel you need to worry about. It's the electronics behind it. It's the converters and your logic systems that you need to make the solar panels work. I mean, if you use passive solar where all you're doing is using the sun's heat to heat up water, that kind of stuff, it's not a problem. But the kind where you actually have to regulate your power, usually most of the systems I've seen, the solar power goes into a battery system. You lose a lot of efficiency because you're having to use an inverter then. When the sun goes down, you're taking the stored DC voltage, inverting it back into AC current. So that's the circuitry that you'd have to worry about when an EMP came. An EMP is not going to mess with the physical properties of the silicon that's actually forming the panel.
Right. Gotcha. So we'd have to figure out, yeah. I'll give you some pictures, Andy. Yeah, it's kind of cool because I have a Ford Explorer, and this is the first year we've actually had to use four-wheel drive to get out, and four-wheel drive works awesome. But got out to our main road because our driveway is about 30 foot, and that's 30 foot of packed snow. So I backed out, no problem. And then we saw that the neighbor took his tractor and had plowed our road, so that was cool. So yeah, we got to figure out how to protect the batteries that are holding the juice, basically.
Switching circuits.
So what did you hear from Nostradamus? And what are some of the did you find anything besides Nostradamus as far as 2017 predictions? Casey.
Well, there's a lot of predictions out there, and a lot of people getting their 2 cents worth in. But as far as anything I would take to the bank, probably not much. The whole Nostradamus thing, it seems like every year you go back to 2016 and Nostradamus predict. It's like they take the same predictions every year and kind of shuffle them around amongst the prophets. It's a toss-up between whether Nostradamus said it this year or Edgar Casey said it was going to be last year. I think a lot of the feeling I get when I read these things is this is somebody's 2017 damn I wish this would happen wish list. Once you really start reading into it, it might be anywhere between now and 24/7. It's the usual beginning of the year doom and gloom and spam's going to hit the fan stuff. There is a pretty cool report that this thing that's quite possibly an alien probe may pass the Earth this year. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, the alien satellite. That's what they're talking about, and that's supposed to be hitting about September. Again, everything is hitting around September.
Yeah, damn. Maybe we all bump Paracon up to August.
No, because I kind of like having Paracon in September.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Hey, Joe made it. Outstanding. So, if everyone's here in September for Paracon and something happens, say we're all here and all the minds that know what's going on are in one spot. Yeah, actually, Don, no, we're actually very herbal. Most of our stuff is herbal, and we do use honey in tea and whatnot. and they're in between doses right now. Actually, that's why they're coughing so much. And they went to the doctor. We just took them to the doctor.
Plus, it takes a while for the antibiotics to get up to therapeutic level in the bloodstream.
Yeah, and they just started taking the antibiotic portion tonight. We thought we could kick it with Benadryl and Tylenol for the fever and the rest of the stuff, but it's viral, so and it's just passing around the family.
Hey, I was going through the same thing about 2 weeks ago. Matter of fact, it was the week we interviewed S.D. Joshi about H.P. Lovecraft on SOR. That next, 2 days later, I was just about to dial 911 because I could barely breathe, and it was pneumonia.
Yeah, that's what Anthony's got. Anthony's got pneumonia, and actually, yeah, no, it's pneumonia, Don, not antibiotic. It's not viral. But yeah, and Shine just got over her pneumonia or walking pneumonia. So yeah, it just passes around. Hey, how's them pointy sticks doing, Joe? Good to see you made it tonight. And how's that titanium pointy stick going? So yeah, alien probe, alien satellite, whichever you want to call it. Yeah, it's supposed to hit September 23rd. That's actually what Biden went to talk to Putin about, was getting weaponry together. So they can fight off this alien probe. Well, how do you say it's going to be a malevolent alien species anyway?
Right. I am trying to track down the source on that, on the Putin and Biden versus the aliens. I read it earlier today. Oh, let's see.
Not really, Joe. Not really. Actually, your two main races that are malevolent are the reptilians and the greys, and that's let's see. There's 4 different reptilians, different reptilian castes that are, and they're all malevolent. All the reptilians are. There's no good reptilian species. A good reptilian species is a dead reptilian species. Anyway, but yeah, the Mater Greys are the only gray race out of 16 subspecies that are good, and they have nothing to do with the other grays, other than they are the malevolent ones. The Pleiadians are benevolent, from what I understand. For the alien ratio, we've made it up to the G's, and that is from the last weekend. No, the second weekend. Yeah, Slipsy Ray. There you go, Slipsy Ray. But yeah, the last show we did was the Alien Race show. That was the second in the series. Third in the series will be next weekend, and should be the last of the Alien Race. And then we're going to go into the fairies. We're actually going to do about 3 shows on fairy races. Then we're going to compare. Then we're going to compare the two. The Maters, I believe so. Yeah. Oh God, who shut down USA and Russia? Oh God, which race was that, Markham? Do you remember? I'll have to go back and look.
No, the Pleiadians. I thought we give them credit for that.
Yeah, because actually, if I remember right, the Pleiadians are the ones who came down. No, it was never mind. That was the Greys. The good Greys came down and actually gave the government an ultimatum that you can give us your nukes, or stand down with your nukes and we'll help you. And they said no. They wanted alien weaponry. And so the Greys said, okay, good luck. And they're the ones that actually went and lived with the Hopi Indians.
Let's see.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a negative intention. They shut it down, so just kind of as a sign that look what we can do. And you guys really shouldn't be using nuclear weapons because, well, it's kind of a toy that's not within your realm. That was pretty much their intention.
Plus,
you guys
I
should.
don't want to screwing up the real estate so they can't move in.
Well, not just that. I mean, think about it. We shoot each other with nukes down here. Just think of what it does to the rest of the galaxy. You can destroy this planet, but I'm pretty sure nuclear, radioactive dust goes out of the atmosphere and it can damage other planets if you think about it.
Well, one of the things it seems like all of the ET experiencers have in common is they say that it's not that life is not abundant or not out there, but apparently the diversity of life we have on this planet is somewhat unusual. So they would really not just as soon we not screw up the entire ecosphere throwing nukes at each other.
Oh yeah, and
they want more than radioactive cockroaches to survive.
Right, and that kind of goes back to my thought about this actually being an alien zoo. We're all planted here on one planet: the chupacabra, the mothman, the swamp man. They're all just experiments for the aliens, and we're all just they're throwing us all here to see if we can all survive together.
That could that I've been wondering about that myself, because you've got it's like you've got these Bigfoot sightings, and now the Dogman sighting. It's like, where did Dogman come from? I mean, when I was a kid, back in the 60s, 70s, up to the 80s, everything was Bigfoot. I mean, you had the Patterson-Gimlin film making the rounds. You had, oh God, I watched it once I was an adult, and I almost laughed myself into a coma. But when I was a kid, it terrified me. About the Falkmont, Legend of Boggy Creek, the original one that came out back in the 70s. That movie scared the hell out of me. I watched it about 2 years ago, and it was all I could do to just not, granted 50 years, better part of 40 years had gone by since I saw it, but when I was watching it this time, I just couldn't. Now, part of the thing with the Falk monster is my dad worked with somebody who was related to one of the hoaxers. That's one of those things where some little boys got out there and did a hoax, and it took on a life of its own. But I'm on, when you talk about some of the Bigfoot sightings, the extra dimensionality, the pixelation, it's almost like, I don't know, it just seems like somebody's doing a behavioral study on us with those things.
Yeah, it could very well be easily. And yeah, Tiffany, go back and listen to the last two shows where we actually go over the alien races. We go into episode 3 of Alien Races in next weekend. And yeah, we cover 160 different races. And yeah, there's a lot of races that look like human. They're humanoid species or humanoid races. And yeah, there are no reptilian races that are good. They are all malevolent. have met many of them. And as far as the grays, there's only one gray race that is good, and that is out of 16 subspecies. Yes, I have met them. I don't like reptilians. I hate them. I despise them. They can all die. That's point blank. Met them physically. And yeah, there's 22 races that seeded this planet back before humans were humans. I can't recall all of them by name. I'd have to look them all up again. But yeah, there are 22 races that actually worked with the Anunnaki in seeding this planet. Anyway, enough about that. 2017, Markham. What else you got for 2017?
Well, let's see. Jesus is going to lead a battle with help by ETs to defeat Putin, who is the Antichrist. And depending on whose prophecy you read, Putin's going to win and take it. It's almost like somebody took the plot to Lord of the Rings and put Putin in the part of Sauron. I've been having a blast reading these things today. But yeah, the whole thing, Putin being the Antichrist, and which I figured they were going to say Trump was the Antichrist, but no, it's Putin. My computer locked up. I had some pages saved. Hang on. Well, let's see. The mysterious object, which is supposed to go pass by Earth. See, actually, this thing, they're talking about it now like it's new, but it was actually discovered, plotted back in November of 1991. And supposedly, the rings of Saturn are populated by self-replicating living spaceships, and they're overpropagating, and they're going to have to come to Earth for material, which seems sort of like a plot from one of the seasons of Stargate with the replicators. I don't know. You just take your pick. Come up with something wild, and I'll see if it's been prophesied to happen this year.
Well, you know, I was encouraged.
Come on.
I was encouraged. Now, unless someone could correct me, there has been nothing on the news about any kind of terrorist attack or, anything really violent or anything to bring us into the new year.
Right. Oh, let's see. There was supposed to be, like I said, I had some pages pulled up, and what happened is my terminal locked up, and I've lost some of my pages. So, well, hearing those coughs, that's just bringing me back to where I was a couple of weeks ago. I feel for that baby. Oh,
so what happened in Turkey, Joe? I know you can't. I need to find our call-in number.
Our call-in number? Let's see. 360-322-4853. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, it does. We can go ahead and experiment and try it out tonight if you want. If someone wants to call in,
go for it.
That's the call-in number.
I just happen to have that on a Post-it note stuck to my computer, my laptop. I'll post it in the chat room. Yeah. That was me 2 weeks ago to the point where I couldn't draw a complete breath because my chest was so sore. Okay, I just posted our Skype call-in number on the chat room.
All right, there we go. We haven't used the call-in number yet, so this will be like an experimental thing tonight.
Yeah, apparently yesterday in Istanbul, 39 people were killed and several wounded in a nightclub attack.
Yeah, see, and again, I don't have cable. I go by just regular news. So I was hoping it seemed like it was a peaceful New Year's, but yeah.
Well, here locally we had a woman in an unidentified woman in her 70s went through an intersection and somehow she hit a curve so fast that her car became airborne and landed on the roof of a care center where it's not Asperger's, the other one, autistic halfway house. They're figuring in order for her to have hit something, I'm not sure what she hit that launched her in the air, but they say she was going between 70 and 90 when she hit it. Nobody was hurt. I mean, she had minor injuries and nobody inside the house was hurt, but that was our front page local news here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Damn it, man. And yeah, and just to clarify this, Tiffany, no one said all 4,000 races were malevolent. We said the reptilians and the greys are, with the exception of one gray race that is benevolent. Nobody said all races are malevolent. That never came out of anyone's mouth here. If you want, go back and listen to our last 2 episodes, and you'll hear about the alien races. Anyway.
Yeah, I've actually reptilian, somebody, and the mantids. I've heard both ways on the mantids.
Well, the mantids are actually supposed to be a part of Bigfoot. Bigfoot is supposed to be the mantid species by one theory. And this is all
really okay.
Yeah, this is all the folks. This is all alleged. You can go out and do your own research. You can do the same research we do. By any means. I don't go strictly by the word of channelers. I do not go by strictly by the word of psychics. I like having secondary clarification along with channelers and psychics, because anything can channel, whether it's spirit, whether it's a malevolent spirit, whether it's any other negative entity, even a positive entity. Anything can say it is what it is, and I don't go by just channelers alone. I don't believe channelers alone. I believe people can be channeled. That's not my problem. My problem is some of the information that comes through channels is false. I go through my own personal experiences compared with verifiable proof, and my own gut, my own instinct. That's what I go by. I don't go by one person alone. So with that being said, yeah, there are 4,000 races. Have all of them visited here? No. Some of them have no desire to visit here because they don't like humans. And it's not that humans are a savage race. They are a very barbaric race. And so that's one reason our vibration is too low to where some races won't come here. And, I don't blame them. So, what are some of the Nostradamus predictions, Markham?
Okay, one of the Nostradamus predictions is that somewhere between this year, and 2020, aliens are going to come to Earth. Here we go. Hang on. I'm getting one of my pages back. Okay. Let's see. Well, darn it. Like I said, I had some really good stuff lined up from about 3 hours ago, but I guess leaving it set up like that made I'm at work, so it made my workstation seize up. So I lost all of them.
Okay, real quick.
Let me look up.
Real quick, who we got on the phone here? We have I hit group call button, but well, it looks like they left.
Yeah, we had trouble last time. Dave and I tried to have open lines on Skype. It kept hanging up on the caller.
Yeah, it seems to be what it did. All righty then. So anyway, Nostradamus.
Okay, here we go. Well, let's see. We've got let's see. Okay, so we're supposed to let's see. Italy is supposed to suffer a horrendous what you call it, their financial system is supposed to, basically they're supposed to go the way of Greece. That's one of the predictions. Let's see, something's going to happen in South America. That's what happens. I have a program I have to stay logged into for work, and when it times out, that's what's causing all the grief. Hang on, let me hit a refresh button. Always have these fun technical issues when we do it from work. All
right, wait, try calling again, Robert. We'll try getting in here. Always good to have our Aussie friends in here.
Oh yeah.
Because they get the prophecy before we do.
Yeah, they get it a day early.
Exactly. They can call us and forewarn us. Hey, it's coming. Yeah, there's an alien with Jesus in it coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, supposedly China is going to become a superpower, like they're not already, but apparently they're going to take some steps to fix the economic imbalance that currently exists throughout the world, and it's going to cause ripple effects throughout the world. Let's see. Yeah, the Italian banking system is going to collapse. Quote, Italy will fall prey to a financial...
All right. Markham, they just put you on.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
All right. This is Eric Cooper. Let me see about getting Markham back in here.
Okay.
Because it won't let me do group call. You still there, Markham?
Yeah, I am. Okay. Markham.
Hold on.
Eric Markham.
All right, Markham, you there? try something else here.
All right.
Uh-oh. All right, Markham, we got you. Okay, I think we're freezing up here.
Maybe. Well, you got to put a snow, so you might be.
Right. I hate technology sometimes. So how's Elsie Land doing?
Oh, so do I. Oh, it's going okay. Yeah, it's been raining up and down today down here.
All right, hold on a
Yeah.
second.
But if we are going to be getting all the information first, does that mean that we're going to get attacked first?
I reckon so.
Oh
But
dear.
not according to the movies. All right, we're trying to get you both in here.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Where are you at, Markham? All right. And just bear with me, folks. Here, I'm trying to get everybody online here, and it's just not working. That's what happens when you have Skype. All right. So, real quick, while I do have you, Andy, we're gonna be if you could pull up some research for me on Pine Gap. I'd appreciate it because we're going to do our Area 51 and Pine Gap comparison, and that's probably about February. Still there, Andy?
Me, Robert, you mean?
Huh?
Well, I did. I actually looked up on Google the other day on the maps, and Pine Gap has followed a very similar design to another one that I saw. It was somewhere in the US. I think it wasn't Area 51 or anything like that, but it was just another standard military base.
Oh, it wasn't by.
It's definitely.
Yeah, it wasn't by chance. Oh God, it was a proving ground. Steve-O. Yeah, if I could get all my Aussie friends there to look up Pine Gap, give me as much information on Pine Gap as you can, so I can do a comparison. And we're sending you healing energy there, Steve, so you can get better. Now let's see, Dugway. It's Dugway Proving Grounds. Is it maybe what you're thinking of?
It could be, yeah.
Because I know I've heard through.
Yeah, I was looking at one that was mentioned in one of the shows, and I brought it up on the maps, and I compared it to the one I saw at Pine Gap, and it was virtually identical.
Okay.
Even down to the pool.
Because we got Dugway Proving Grounds, we got, of course, we got Dulce, New Mexico. Wright-Patterson Air Force Base is another hot spot. Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada is another hot spot. And of course, Fort Lewis. All very paranormal related. Okay. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to try to get Markham back on track here. Thanks for calling in.
Okay, no problem. No problem at all. And hello, everyone in the chat room, even though I said hi there before.
All right. Give us a call when
Okay, catch you later, Eric.
Talk to you later.
And hope your kids keep better soon.
You too. All right, you back, Markham? No, Markham is not back. Okay, hold on, folks. I'm getting Markham back in here. All right. Sometimes this technology just doesn't work out right. Yeah, now China Lake Naval. That's another. Now, if I remember right, Joe, is China Lake Naval in California? Let's see. So Markham, if you can hear me, need you to hang up so you can, yeah, so it can call through. Yeah, I gotta love technical difficulties. All right. So again, let's go over some while we're waiting here. So January 8th is going to be Alien Races Part 3. January 14th, we're going to talk paranormal. Actually, January 14th is our first paranormal discussion at the Lone Star Restaurant here in Concrete. And then we're going into the next 3 shows of Fairy Races 1, 2, and 3. February 5th, we're going to tie it all together for you and show you the signs and symptoms of a spirit case, a fairy case, an alien case, and cryptids, and how you tell them apart in an investigation. So it's still showing, all right. All right, now it's showing me is ringing. All right, we got you back, Markham.
There we go. Yep.
All right. There he is. Your volume is real low, though.
Okay, let me check and make sure the right things. I think part of it is I'm in this noisy lab and I've got this. I've got a.
I got you back. Yeah, it was on my end.
All right, there we go. Okay. Well, these are noise canceling, and I've got so much ambient noise around me, it may make me seem low.
All right. Oh, that was Robert. Okay, I'm sorry, Andy. That was Robert that jumped in. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was Andy at first. Gotcha. Real quick though, I want to go over the schedule. Like I said, we got paranormal discussion is going to be the second. If you're here local in Concrete and you listen to our show, every second Saturday of the month at the Lone Star Restaurant, 6 p.m. We are doing paranormal discussions. This month we're doing the QRT first meet and greet meeting, so I can start screening people, get them into our training sessions. So the 15th, 22nd, 29th of January is Fairy Races 1, 2, and 3. February 5th, we'll be tying them all together. Basically, if you walk into a paranormal investigation and you look at the signs of what's going on, you'll kind of be able to see the differences between a spirit, a fairy, alien abduction, or a Bigfoot. And February 12th, we're doing Hollow Earth theories. I'm losing my voice here. The 19th, we're doing paranormal missing people. Kind of taking a David Paulide's approach and looking at his research versus kind of our own experiences. February 26th, we're going to do Earth changes, HAARP, and geoengineering. Now we get into some interesting stuff too. In March, we're going to do ancient aliens. March 5th, are gods really aliens, and where did religion come from? The 11th.
Well, that'll be a loaded.
All right, well, it won't. It'll be awesome. That's how we roll in S4. March 12th, Ancient Alien Theories 1. The 19th is the second one. The 26th, we're doing Pine Gap, Australia versus Area 51. USA, what are they doing? April 2nd, NWO, Government Elite, Bilderbergs, and Corrupt Corporations. April 9th, we're doing the Montauk Project. April 16th, Alphabet Soup Agencies and the Secret Government. The 23rd, Presidential Secrets, Who Saw What? April 30th, Native American Lore and the Paranormal. And May 7th is going to be my favorite. What do you do if there's an alien invasion? We're going to talk. We're going to talk different, and we're going to kind of tie it together. We're going to look at the weaknesses of some of the alien races we've discussed. We're going to look at the weaknesses of some of the cryptids we've discussed, the weaknesses of fairies, the weaknesses of everything, and the strengths of all of them. Basically tie them all together on that side of it. And then we're going to see what weaponry will affect what. What weaponry is going to affect what. And then we're going to talk survival skills and, yeah, pointy sticks. You can throw a pointy stick just as well with like a javelin as you can, stab something with a pointy stick. You ever tried throwing a pointy stick like a javelin, Monk? Yeah, actually, you can take nails. If you find a fairy mound, I don't believe in attacking anything unless it's malevolent. There's fairy mounds around up here, and basically, if you want to kill off or shut down a fairy mound, you drive an iron nail through it. That's all you gotta do. Drive a nail through it. I like raccoons. Raccoons are cool, but that'll be a fun show to do. And indeed, when we talk about aliens that invented religion, that's always going to be a loaded subject anyway. Especially now that we have the Catholic Church recently that came out and said everything's a demon and we must have more exorcists. Really? They just took paranormal TV and gave it credence, is what they did. You still with me, Marco?
Yeah. I'm hitting my refresh button. There. I'm trying to keep all these windows open so that I don't lock up again.
Yeah, I can't keep windows open. It kind of sucks.
Well, I have to keep one open for work. I have to monitor what's going on in the ER and whatever. And if you don't hit it every few minutes, it shuts down. And then when it shuts down, it takes the whole terminal down with it. So every once in a while, I got to minimize things, hit the refresh button, and get back where we're at. I had gotten up to like the third prophecy with Nostradamus when things, when we had our technical issues. You want me to pick up at 4 or move on?
Just carry on. Just carry on with it. I always did like
okay.
He was one of the ones. Now, did Edward Casey ever come up with anything for 2017?
Well, there are trip. I think a lot of times they just look at whatever was said and they try to fit it into a given year. It's a crying shame he's gone and can't speak for himself anymore. Let's see. I am looking for an Edgar Casey. Well, the Alamogordo prophecies are something I had looked into. That's mostly nothing. So nothing I saw was specifically as 2017. Now with Nostradamus, they actually have specific. Nostradamus says this is going to happen this year. We're going to have some more. We're going to have like some eco wars over resources this year, and terrorism, of course, is going to be on the rise. And he predicted that Latin America would become would start shifting around. That the governments are going to become more conservative and go away from the leftist. Okay, here, the sixth one for this year, which I feel like it's already come true, is the United States will run out of control and will become inept in addressing global issues due to political corruption, ideological divisiveness, and increasing inequality. Well, I'd say he pegged that one for the last 8 years. Well, actually longer than that. The U.S. has had some of the stupidest foreign policy ever.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, but it's going to get worse. Look who we have. And I mean, look who he pegged 2017 because who's about to take over this month? And my parents being the very much devout religious people they are, my mom was terrified. I mean, terrified that, oh my God, Obama is going to take everyone's guns, and Obama is going to cause complete chaos. He's going to initiate martial law. And really? And I tell her, you've been hanging around your friends again, haven't you? No, your religious fanatical friends are feeding you fear. That's all it is. Obama, as many people as hated him, and Obama as walking into a presidential, White House that everybody was against and had the Republicans and conservatives stonewalling every move he made. I don't think he did bad. I really don't. And I mean, the Republicans, right in the very beginning of Obama's presidency, said verbatim that he wasn't going to succeed because they weren't going to allow anything to pass. And then they get mad because he vetoes everything they do. So it's like, really? How are you going to get mad about him vetoing everything when you're the ones that are stopping everything? And it wasn't like he was doing anything bad. So, yeah, you can't blame Obama for a damn thing when you're the ones initiating it. And now you're going to vote in Trump? Really? And I don't hate Trump. I didn't vote for him, man. And I didn't vote for Clinton. And it really pisses me off. People, Trump won. Get over it. Stop fighting him.
Yep.
Let him do what he's going to do. He's going to fall on his face. Actually, he's not. They won't let him fall on his face. They're going to. What's going to happen is he's already done said he's not staying in the White House. He's going to stay in Trump Towers. He's going to live in Trump Towers, and he's only going to be in the White House for like 3 days out of the week. So, and his wife's already done said, no. So it's going to be really curious. And Andrew's calling in. I'm going to wait for a second. Call me in about 5 minutes. And it baffles me. But you look at the people he's surrounding himself with. That's where you need to worry. And I'll be honest with you, that's the main reason we're making Forest Moon a church, a pagan church. Because I'll be damned if you're going to throw your religion in my face. And that's exactly what's going to happen with Trump. Not Trump. Trump's not conservative. they asked him point blank in an interview if he's ever asked God for forgiveness, and he just kind of smirked and said, "No, God and I have an understanding." Seriously? And you're in the conservative ticket. They didn't want him to run to begin with. The only reason they had him on their ticket was so they could get into the White House. So here's what's going to happen. Pence is about the most radical conservative you could think of. And I can't remember the other one's name, but his consultant is worse than Pence. So you got two of the most radical conservatives that are going to step in. They're going to put prayer back in school. I've got nothing against prayer in school. But their prayer in school is invoking their own God, invoking Jesus' name, and not everyone's Christian. So now you're throwing your religion in my face. Not my face, in my kid's face. My kid goes to public school and says a prayer based on your religion. You're going to have one hell of a battle, because I ain't playing that shit. And you know what? You've got multiple religious texts. The Bible is not the only one. Real quick, I'm going to put you on hold, Markham. Now, I'll probably have to call you back again to this happen. I'm going to let Andrew call in real quick, and I'll bring you back in about 5 minutes. Andrew, we got you? How you doing tonight, Andrew? Yeah, it looks like... Hold on. Here we go. Let's try getting you in here, Andrew. How you doing tonight, Andrew?
Hello, Eric. I'm sorry to cause trouble, mate.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. We're actually having fun. We're having fun with this this call in. So what's going on in Algaland?
Oh, not much, mate. But I'd like to make a special prayer for Stephen R. Kelly, because he's been a bit sick and been a bit down. So pray for his healing and get well soon.
Okay. I see we're having internet problems. You still there with me? You still here?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
We're having Skype issues. But no, you're still connected, looks like.
Yeah, do you want me to drop off and try again?
No, I've still got you, it looks like.
Yeah, but it's bad connection, so I might drop off and just try again.
Okay, go ahead. All right, folks, just hold on a sec while Andrew calls back in real quick. All right, there he is. You with us, Andrew?
That's better, isn't it?
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah,
So a very special prayer for
okay, go
Steve
ahead.
out there. He's been sick. Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here. I was waiting for you.
Sorry, just a very special prayer for Steve R. Kelly out there in Australia, who's been a bit sick and been a bit down. So sending him healing and special prayers.
All right, yeah, Steve-O's in the chat room, actually. Good deal. Good deal.
Yeah. And I can hear your little one in the background coughing. Special prayers for your little one.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we got pneumonia floating around here.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard hearing kids coughing like that. It's really so very special prayers to your little ones.
All right.
And you've had like 5 or 6 inches of snow there, Eric?
Now we got 12 inches. We got 1 foot of snow sitting in our yard.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
Matter of fact, immediately after the show, I'll take a picture and throw it up in Forest Moon.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, we had 7 inches this morning, last night. Now it's supposed to get down into the 20s. Good night, Don. You have a good night. But yeah, it's supposed to get down to the 20s all week and start snowing again next Friday. So it's actually winter. This is how winters used to be back in the day. This is the worst I think I've seen it. Of course, I did 20 years Army, so I wasn't around here for a while, for about 20 years. But even in childhood, I remember one year where it was about 6 inches to a foot. And that's probably about 11 or 12 then. But no, we haven't had a winter like this in quite some time. Hopefully it kills off the fleas. Hopefully it kills off the fleas and all the bugs and whatnot, and we don't have a flea problem like we did last summer.
Well, we've had the opposite in Australia. We've like a few days of like over 40 degrees Celsius, so pretty hot.
Right. And now you have what, about 90 to 100 degree summers?
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. Well above that, and the humidity's been about. The humidity also has been like 80-90% too. So it's like the double whammy.
Oh God, that's like the South.
Really hot sun. And,
that's like southern United States in.
So we get the burning hot sun, plus we get the high humidity where so you can't win.
Right.
We can get both. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in, Andrew, and we'll get Markham back in here and finish up talking about 2017 prophecies.
Yeah, and I just want to, as I said, just say a special prayer for my fellow Aussie, Steve, and everyone out there in the chat room. And I just wanted to pop in to say a quick hello, and I love your show, Eric Cooper, and I love what Eric Markham does too. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Always great to hear from you guys.
Yeah, I'll drop off now. Take care, guys.
All right, thank you. All right, get Markham back in here. All right, we got you, Markham.
You just got me reconnected.
All right. Go ahead and carry on. 2017. And thank you for calling in, Andy and Robert both. That was awesome. And everyone send healing energy to Steve-O. He's been doing poorly lately.
Okay. Oh, okay. Sounded like I was disconnected again. Let's see. Supposedly, this is the year solar power comes into its own, and commercial space travel will become viable and real, and the Ukraine and Russia will make peace. That's the top 9 Nostradamus predictions for 2017.
All right. I was looking for something involving alien invasion, I didn't see nothing from Nostradamus involving it. Now, Russia and Ukraine making peace, it's always possible. But with privatized space travel, Bigelow's been doing that for a very long time. And for those that don't know, Bigelow is, if you look at Jesse Ventura's conspiracy theories, hasn't been on the air in a long time, but he did an episode involving the Bigelow Industries, and they actually own the Skinwalker Ranch in Utah, and basically bought out MUFON. MUFON allegedly, I always have to say that because if it's not fact, it's not fact. But allegedly, MUFON sends all the reports to the Bigelow Industries. It doesn't even go to the government, or everything's secret. Everything's kept secret. Which is I was with MUFON back in the '90s, and I quit. I stayed with them for about a year, and they just seemed more into debunking and basically trashing witnesses. And that's not what I was there for. I was there to do. I was there to do alien abduction and UFO research and to help people. I wasn't there to, So no, I left MUFON, and from what I've seen, it hasn't gotten any better. And hey, Andy, we love you guys too. You guys are always awesome to have on our show. Once we figure out technical difficulties and all that crap, and figure out how to get multiple lines in here, I thought having a call-in number would allow me to have multiple lines, but it doesn't seem to. Not sure. We'll figure out all this stuff, and 2017 you'll see S4 grow and grow technically as well. So yeah, now Markham. Other than
we've got a little bit of a delay issue, and yeah.
No, I was going to ask.
You broke up on me. Hang on, repeat.
Yeah, no. What I've been doing too is muting my mic when you're talking because it seems to kill the echo problem. Yeah, Trippin, he does. That's the thing. Bigelow does own MUFON. Now, I haven't seen that black and white as verifiable, so I have to say alleged. But that's a rumor. I heard that on actually Jesse Ventura's show. Now, this week's going to be kind of busy for me. This week I'm going to actually be making paranormal SOPs for Forest Moon, especially with our quick reactionary team. And then I'm going to be doing research for future shows. Now, if you guys have a topic you want to hear about, I've got I think it's May 1st is our alien invasion show. But if you have a topic that's really pressing and you want to hear about it, let me know and we'll get it squeezed in. We've bumped shows before, now we can do it again. We had the shooter, we actually bumped the HARP show, and that's why I'm doing HARP again. So, other than hearing there's an alien satellite hurtling towards Earth, have you heard anything else alien invasion related?
Yes, well, other than the flotilla of UFOs that are going to come to, that Jesus is going to lead. That one cracks me up. That's just the whole idea that, okay, if the Christians are right and Jesus is the Son of God, why does he need UFOs to help him conquer the earth? But anyway, there's also, did I mention the one about the living spaceships that are living in the rings of Saturn?
No, that's a new one. I haven't heard that one.
Supposedly, Oh, this guy actually is a NASA. This guy's actually a NASA scientist, and he says that living spaceships, the rings are caused by living spaceships, and they actually live in Saturn, and the rings are a byproduct of their. Here we go. NASA scientists claims UFO spaceships living on Saturn's rings. Okay. This guy is. Oh, is that okay? Berggren is his last name. The guy's name is Normal Berggren. He's a NASA scientist, and he states that, quote, living alien UFO spaceships have started proliferating on planet Saturn's rings, end quote. Berggren was a renowned engineer who worked with NASA's Ames Research Center, and he's been interviewed several times, and he claims that the number of UFO spaceships have reached a critical level. They're self-replicating. You know, this guy, if he's unhinged, it's kind of scary because he's worked on some of the some of our most top secret aerospace programs through Lockheed Martin, NASA, and some of the other. So he actually published a paper in 1986 called Ringmakers of Saturn. It's pretty wild, but supposedly they're going to be disclosed because there's just going to be so damn many of them that because they're living and self-replicating that they just won't be able to hide any longer. So,
no, I'm looking at
okay.
I'm looking at Trippin's drink the Kool-Aid comment. Yeah. Soldiers on Mars. I don't know what to think about that one.
Oh yeah, we had that guy as a guest.
Yeah,
we had that guy as a guest on SOR. It's like, okay. We get these far out things. What would happen if even half of them were true? I mean, we take it all at face value, and we give our guests their say, but I think about half of us are, yeah, that's all good and well and good. Thank you very much for your opinion. But, one of these days, one of these far-out crackpot ideas is going to turn out to be true, and the rest of us are all going to be going, holy shit.
Yeah, because everyone looks at everything as a false flag. Well, what if one of those false flags really wasn't false? And
right.
Yeah. And, okay, so this China lost control of one of their satellites. Maybe that's the alien satellite they're talking about. And it's really not a China satellite, but it's an alien satellite. But they realized, oh, hell, we said it was alien, so we better change it to China. Because, if we say an alien satellite's coming in, then we, Hey, Dave made an appearance. Everyone say hi to Dave Scott.
The Dave?
It looks like Spaced Out Radio. That would be the Dave. Always good to have our mentor and pal and buddy.
Hey, Dave.
And yeah, always good to have Dave pop into the show occasionally. Haven't seen him in here in a while. So we have. Oh, well, maybe I'm confused. I see Spaced Out Radio saying hi, Dave. Anyway.
Okay, that's Dave. One of them's Dave, I know, because only Dave calls me preacher.
Gotcha. Yeah. So we were just talking Spaced Out Radio, and so we have Jesus coming to visit us, and he's bringing a flotilla of UFOs to kill off the Antichrist, Putin. Okay, I got you. So, and it doesn't really matter which one of these, alleged theories happens. They're all going to happen September 22nd, 23rd, 24th when we're doing Paracon. So we are going to want to have one hell of a Paracon, if any of it happens, because the aliens are going to come in and visit me.
Yeah, no kidding.
So it's going to be an interesting Paracon any way you look at it. And yeah, I'll have to have the QRT on standby, just in case one of these crazy things does happen. So yeah, what else you got for us, Markham?
Well, let's see. There were 6 more mysterious radio signals. So that from space. So, kind of like the WOW signal. And apparently, 2017 is going to be the year we have full government disclosure because people are going to start picking up alien radio transmissions. I'm loving this crap. 2017 is going to be a real interesting year. So, if even a tenth of what's predicted comes, if one thing they've predicted comes true, we're in for one hell of a fun year. I swear.
Well, I'm going to say one word. I'm going to say one word. Trump. Just having Trump alone is going to make it an interesting year. let alone any of this, let alone any of this alien stuff or and that out of all the theories, I think that's the one I could see happening the most likely. Everyone's got scanners. There's a lot of people with CBs out there. There's all, so I can see if there's a lot of if the UFOs are coming closer, that transmissions are picked up more, and then how are they going to explain it? So I think out of all the theories, that's the more probable one.
Because there's a lot of people getting in shortwave.
Exactly. Now, yeah, you say Styx, the river Styx. So we're watching.
Come sail away. Yeah.
No, I've been going through my conspiracy videos, getting information for future shows and whatnot, and I was watching this Bohemian Grove with Alex Jones. Alex Jones, I think, is the only one I know of that's actually penetrated illegally, obviously, or snuck into Bohemian Grove. And he's sitting there, and I try not to get offended. I try not to get pissed off too much. But he's sitting there talking about these pagan rituals and they're evil, and what, coming from the perspective of a pagan, that kind of offends me. But I'm like, really? So what? Honestly, if we did have a government official or a president that was pagan, this man would flip out. And it's like, really? So anyway, getting to Bohemian Grove. So he's talking about, because they had a boat in this channel, and they were doing this a ritual to, Murdoch? No, what did they call him? Oh, God. Yeah, Meth Head Jones. It's a good name for him. I'm trying to remember the statue. It's an owl that they're actually worshiping in Bohemian Grove, and it's a pagan deity. I can't remember. He's nothing I recognize. Actually, it's mentioned in the Bible. This particular pagan emblem is, and so they have this quote unquote pagan high priest person that's not really a pagan high priest, but he's in a boat, and Mrs. Forrest Moon's looking at this, going, he looks like the river Styx. That's what it looks like a symbol of, not what they call them. They call them something else, but. You got to watch the video. The video is just really, for real, and that's one of the videos I deleted. I'm like, nah, I don't need to waste my time with this one. It's like Trippin says, it's Alex Jones. So, not even. And okay, so Spaced Out Radio, www.spacedoutradio.com. You got to check out the new intro tomorrow night. Heard it straight from the boss himself, Dave. Yeah, it is, Joe. It's a giant owl. It's in Bohemian Grove, but they actually call. Oh God, I'd have to look it up. I don't want to look it up because if I pull anything up outside the studio here, then it kind of screws things up.
Well, I'm looking for it. It's like. It keeps going to Moloch, but Moloch wasn't an owl. Moloch was like a bull.
No, it was.
I don't. See.
It was Moloch. It's Moloch that they worship, but it's an owl emblem that they're using for wisdom.
Oh, okay. The owl of Athena is the wisdom, and they're worshiping Moloch. Okay, well, Moloch's the one that's most known for the child sacrifice.
Right, and they actually have a human form that they burn. And is anybody really in the human form? Nobody knows. But, we already did the Bohemian Grove show. And if you look at the names that have been to Bohemian Grove, oh my God, all the Bushes. I wouldn't expect anything less. But and then, of course, you got the rumors that went around that Hillary traveled to California. No, I'm not wearing headphones. Will that kill the echo? We'll try that out. But, there's rumors that Hillary was traveling to California to join a coven or to worship with a coven. I'm like, really? Well, even if she was, what's wrong with that? So she's a witch.
Yeah.
She's a witch and just doesn't want anyone to, because of course, look how they react. Even if she was a witch, there should be nothing wrong with that. If that's her belief, then we kind of proved through the Illuminati show that we did that America was not founded on Christianity. It was actually founded on paganism, but disguised under Christianity so that our founding fathers wouldn't be killed. So, but just because, even if this country was founded on Christianity, it was founded under religious freedom and the Establishment Clause, which should not make it that your president has to be a Christian anyway.
Well, the whole idea of the separation of church and state is so you wouldn't have a situation like you do in England where you have the Church of England. And it was supposed to keep it was supposed to be a way to give people religious freedom, which basically in the beginning meant as long as you were a Protestant, you had religious freedom. If you were a pagan or a Catholic, God help you, literally. So I think Freemasonry had a hell of a lot more to do with the founding fathers than any particular Christian yeah, like I said, we covered that in our show about the Illuminati, that there was a lot of a lot of masonry and stuff that wouldn't strictly be considered Christian theology that went into the founding documents and the founding fathers.
Exactly, and that's what I think is cool. Is here on S4 we've covered a lot of these topics already, and yeah, so it's kind of cool that we can just go back to this particular episode. You can hear all about how the founding fathers really were, and and then you got, of course, the RH negative factor. We've covered a lot of these. Looking back on 2016 when we first started the show.
That was one of our first shows. Was RH negative doesn't have crap to do with aliens.
No, and
we still get people showing up at the SOR chat room talking that crap.
Well, and that's what kills me is once you bring up the fact that there is no RH blood type, that it's a protein. It's not a blood type, and that's their first mistake is when they say the RH blood type. It's not, and so then they kind of backtrack a little bit and say, well, it's a spiritual thing. It has to do with your spiritual vibration, which is where the RH negative comes from. No, it doesn't. RH negative is nothing more than a protein. You can sugarcoat it any way you want. The facts are the facts, and I'm one of the first ones to step out on a limb with some conspiracies based on some stuff I've read, and coupled with some facts here and there that I know to be true. But all right, and I love more than anything to believe that there is an alien blood type out there. But well, the facts show there's not. So deal with it. Just like the facts show Trump is our new president. Deal with it. So I just shake my head. And 2017 is going to be a very interesting year.
Yep. I keep being reminded of the, I think it's a Chinese curse. May you be born in interesting times. So every one of us within range of my voice, we really must have pissed somebody off in a former life, because we were definitely born in interesting times.
Well, yes, and I see it as my job to fix, to the best of my ability, the way my kids are going to live in their future. That's kind of why that's kind of why I do this. And we're having a whole lot of glitching here tonight. I know part of it's because of the snow and whatnot with satellites. But I feel bad, and it all goes back to DARPA, or not DARPA. DAPL. There we go, DAPL.
That's another show.
It is another show, but they aren't doing it just because it's tribal land. They're not doing it just because oil pipelines are known to be water destructive. They're doing it for the future generations. And I kind of look at today as, what can we do to fix our government? Because I don't want my kids, God help them if they have to live in something worse than what we're in right now, And at the ages of 5 and 6, we were laughing because, by the time my daughter's 80, I'm going to be 100 and something, which I guess is feasible, but I don't see me living over 100. I just don't. I see me living till about 80 something, no problem. And I'm sure a lot's going to happen in the next 40, 50 years. Can you imagine?
Well, you just okay. When I remember talking to my grandmother back in the '90s. She lived to be 80, I think in 85. Anyhow, you're looking at somebody who basically saw going from horses and buggies to Model Ts to space shuttles. You know, she within her in those 80 years she was alive. You know, look at what they went from just early industrial to space age. We're already in the space age if we don't like set ourselves back to the Stone Age. What's the when we're 85, what are we going to have said? We're going to be the ones that went from the first man on the moon to what? I mean, the bar, each generation, the bar keeps getting set progressively higher. It just sort of makes me look forward to seeing what it's going to, what am I going to remember? What am I going to see in another 30, 40 years?
But I don't know if I want to see it. I mean, okay, so skateboard hoverboards. Yeah, Moloch. That was it. But yeah, skateboard hoverboards, floating cars. I think of The Fifth Element. There we go. That's what I was trying to think of the name of that movie earlier. Yeah, The Fifth Element. And I find it. I don't like the word ironic, but in the very back, in the notes section of the Aliens Races book, the aliens even came out and were talking about paganism. Did you catch that in the notes?
Do what now? You broke up on me. Just as you asked the question, you broke up on me.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I know. I'm having glitchy internet here, but no. We're in the very back of the Alien Race book, where there's a kind of a big paragraph where one of the races. Well, yeah, where one of the races was talking about pagans, and how.
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of cool. It was like, well, damn, even the aliens recognize pagans is like, wow. And again, I can't open the book up right now, but yeah, I think the reptilians, and this isn't a quote, folks. This is just me joking, but I think the reptilians created the Catholics.
Oh. Well, being a Catholic, I have to. Well, who knows what the origins were? I mean, you look at the whole Christianity thing, and the message might have been good, but I think it's gotten so bogged down with man-made addendums and extra bull crap that the message has gotten lost. I doubt if today's Catholic Church would recognize Jesus if he did come back.
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, I think the only thing the Catholics have going for them today, and don't even recognize it, is the Pope they have right now. And half the Catholics.
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
Well, and half the Catholics have turned their back on the Pope because he embraces homosexuality, and he embraces the homeless, and he embraces the real people. he doesn't believe in, the Archbishop should drive a Cadillac, and he condemns the ones that are rich for being rich because they're supposed to be there for the people, not for driving a Cadillac, not for living in a damn palace by any means. That's why he chooses not to live in the house they gave him, because it's too rich. He lives in an apartment, and that it just really, and half the Catholics condemn him because no, God wanted us to be rich, and He wanted us to. No, He didn't. Christ Himself washed the feet of the poor, and healed the lepers, and walked about. Come on now. And I might be pagan, but dude, I know Christianity more than most Christians, obviously.
Well, that was one of the big criticisms of Jesus. It's like he hung out with prostitutes, publicans, tax collectors, the people that the upper echelon Jews didn't like or approve of. And it's like, well, who else is the savior of mankind going to hang out with? The people that need saving the most. It's like church is for the sinners. But the message has gotten so diluted and polluted and corrupted over the last 2,000 years that when you had it wasn't the Nicene Council, but it was one of the councils got together, and they all but said, the question is not, because this has come up before, why are the bishops and, the upper level of the clergy in the Catholic Church rich? And their answer was, well, it's not necessarily a matter of whether we should be poor, but whether Christ's church should be poor. They deferred it over so that they could make it look like having all that wealth was for the good of the church. And if some of it just happened to find its way into their pockets, well, so much the better. The whole thing with the bureaucracy of the Catholic Church makes it kind of a evil organization. I'm not saying that every priest is evil and all that, but it's set up to corrupt those within. You can't have that many billions of dollars floating through your hands without it causing corruption at some level. And I think I think Pope Francis has been a wonderful breath of fresh air. I can't believe the fact that they were really the Vatican's been anti-Jesuit for a long time, because the Jesuits are usually highly educated and they don't buy a lot of the bullshit that the Vatican's tried to throw out there. So it was really a surprise to see a Jesuit become a pope.
Now, we know where politics is going in 2017. Now it's just curious how scary it goes down that rabbit hole. And looking at religion, more and more people are leaving, like we were talking about at the round table, more and more people are leaving organized religion to turn spiritualist. There's nothing wrong with spiritualists. I think the thing the church has going for it, though, is the networking. If it's a true church, they help the homeless. They help the less fortunate. They are there to minister. With AA, with counseling, with things like that. And and I agree with Dave in that, it kind of hurts the church to an extent, but you know, it's also good at the same time as a spiritualist to find yourself, find your own spirituality. And I got into this discussion. Just a few days ago, as a matter of fact, because I had a pagan arguing with me about Forest Moon being a church. And, you know, I had to explain, look, no, it's not like we're going to have people here being preached at. No, pagans don't do that anyway. We're having open rituals for people that want to show up. And it's not going to be based on one particular tradition. We'll have a Wiccan do it one week, you know, or one Sabbath. We'll have a Druid do it another Sabbath. It's going to be rotated around. The main reason for having a church is the politics side of it. One, as a church, you can be recognized by the DoD to help pagans in the military. Two, you have a more official recognition by the county to help the homeless. It's things like that I have to look at, not the fact that, you know, and to fulfill the bill of the federal government, we're basically creating a religion in that we're taking multiple portions. We're taking a little bit of Wicca, we're taking a little bit of Druidry, we're taking a little bit of shamanism, and we're forming it basically to fit the federal government's bill of a religion. And that's how we're making it a pagan church. And, you know, she was asking, what about tithes? And I was like, well, you know what? Tithing is actually a Christian belief. We don't take people's money. If people want to donate, by all means, we need help to run things. We need help with operations. We need help with, you know, if we get a physical location, we'll need help with power bill. Things like that. But are we taking tithe? No. Hell no. So what last words do you have about 2017 for us there, Markham?
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a wild ride. Like I said, if just one of the things they're predicting comes true, it's going to be a paradigm-shifting year. Just one thing. So it should be a really interesting year. It's the year that Spaced Out Radio is going to go terrestrial, mainstream.
Agreed, and you know,
predicted by Nostradamus.
Yeah, a paradigm shifting, I think, is the probably more accurate way of saying it. And people talk about this vibrational shift. Okay, I can kind of get 1 foot on that. That's okay. Because I don't think 2012 was a physical. I don't think it was ever meant to be. Oh, the world's going to end in 2012. I think, honestly, humanity was going to be awakened in 2012. I still believe that. I think it's a very minimal shifting, if you want to, for lack of a better way of explaining it. I think it's a progressive shifting. I think 2017 might be a second part of that shifting. And I don't know. I'm trying to think how to form it in words. I think the progression of humanity, I don't see it because you look at today and it's hard to even fathom a peaceful change.
I'm almost wondering if, I don't know, maybe 2012 is what it took to get people thinking. And it seems like things move slowly. First, it becomes, we perceive this. Then the more we dwell on it, the more reality tends to shape toward what we're dwelling on. And it's almost like we're creating our reality by the mass conscious, the collective unconscious, and what we're believing at the time. People act like these religions are, cast in stone, and Christianity's fairly new kid on the block when you consider that how many thousands of years did the Egyptians worship Isis? And that's just one culture. Nothing, it seems, as far as social convention, religion, mythology, none of this stuff lasts forever. I guess it's a testament to the message, in the initial message of Christianity, that it has lasted 2,000 years.
Here's what kills me. Okay, so we have scientists that have verified through carbon dating and whatnot, that this planet is millions of years old. Can you verify that?
What now?
That planet Earth is millions of years old.
Well, you can prove. You can infer the age of the Earth due to laboratory testing, like sedimentation rates, and you can infer it. But as far as downright proving it as a fact within the framework of what we understand in physics, yes.
Okay.
You can prove that the Earth is million years old.
So, Trump
within the framework of what we know.
So, no, the point is, so Trump's consultant, that should scare you, just those two words. So, but Trump's consultant has come out and said, yes, the Earth is 5,500 years old. Like,
oh,
really?
God. Really?
Yeah. I think maybe he's related to Sarah Palin, but we won't even go there.
Oh, Lord.
And I can't even believe that man wanted to put Sarah Palin in charge of the VA. That's just, to me, that's that's an insult. Oh, God. So, folks, to sum up tonight's show, and make sure you hit back onto Spaced Out Radio tomorrow night. Listen to Dave Scott, www.spacedoutradio.com. Next week, S4 is getting back on track. Midnight next Sunday, we're talking alien races again, part 3. And we're going to start off with the H's. We made it all the way to the G's. Woo! No, I'm sitting in the back room, Dave. I haven't lit up a smoke yet. I'm going to wrap up the show, and I'm going to go smoke.
Me too.
Most definitely. Tonight was a good show. We talked about everything under the sun, plus 2017. And, hey, I tell you what, I think September 23rd, 2017, if you're not at the Concrete Paracon, you're missing out because, hey, we might be visited by aliens. If half of them theories are true, we might actually be visited by aliens at Paracon. You never know. And with that,
probably right in the middle of my damn presentation too.
Exactly. All right, y'all have a good night. Have a great New Year. And we'll see you next week. And actually, we'll see you tomorrow night on Spaced Out Radio. Good night, folks.